You know that moment. Your cats are just like tumbling around, fur everywhere. And 1 second it's adorable. Next you're thinking, uh-oh, have I accidentally started some kind of feline fight club right here in my living room?
Yeah, that flicker of doubt. Are they playing or is this serious?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are they just having fun or is it about to get, really serious?
Yeah.
That's the mystery we're going to try and unravel today.
Hmm.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your questions, all the sources you've sent over, and, well, we put our heads together to pull out the most interesting bits of knowledge.
Yep.
And today, we're diving deep into cat fights. Or maybe not fights, cat interactions, let's say.
Right. And our mission here really is to give you the tools, the paws and claws of figuring out feline interactions.
Nice.
So you can, confidently tell playful pouncing from a serious swipe. We'll look at why they do this stuff, when you absolutely should step in, and maybe most importantly, how to keep the peace. Think of it as your shortcut to being really clued in about your cats, understanding their quiet signals and their louder moments.
Okay, let's unpack this then.
Yeah.
Because our sources definitely say, like you hinted, not all these cat fights mean war. A lot of it is just play.
Right, normal behavior.
But for us humans, that line can feel super blurry, can't it? Things can switch so fast. So how do we really know if it's all good fun or if things are about to get nasty?
It's true. That line is where the confusion comes in. But what's fascinating, and what the sources point out, is that cats have this really rich, sometimes subtle language. If you know what to look for, it gives you pretty clear signs.
Okay.
The key isn't just one sign, usually. It's the whole picture, the combination of cues.
So where do we start? Body language.
Let's start right there. Body language. It's often the first kind of warning system. So when cats are genuinely playing, their bodies look relaxed, almost fluid,
Fluid, okay.
Ears might be up or maybe just slightly back, but not flat against the head. That's a big difference. Flat ears means stress. Their tails, probably neutral, maybe flicking a bit playfully, twitching, not held stiff or tucked under. And you'll see them rolling around, taking turns being the chaser or the pouncer, like little wrestlers.
19 wrestlers, yeah.
Exactly. There's a light, bouncy feel to it. It looks like agility and fun, not fear or aggression.
So we're looking for that looseness, that give and take, not a stiff, tense pose. Okay, that makes sense. But I imagine, when they're a blur of fur, it's still tricky to spot.
Yeah.
Do people often misread those playful signals?
Oh, absolutely. A big one is the tail flick. Sometimes people think it means irritation, but in context, it might just be part of the play invitation. Or seeing a cat on its back.
Yeah, belly up.
Yeah.
Looks submissive.
Right, but it could just be a playful wrestling move, inviting the other cat in. The context and how fast things change, that's really important, because when it gets serious, the body language shifts completely.
How so?
You'll see tense, rigid bodies, like they're frozen, ears pinned back hard or totally flat against the head. They might puff up their fur, that piloerection thing.
Oh, yeah, the Halloween cap.
Exactly, arch the back. Suddenly they're in I'm big and scary mode, trying to intimidate. This isn't bouncy play anymore. It's threat display.
Okay, so playful is furry WWE, serious is bristling standoff. What about sounds? My cats can be pretty chatty. I bet that's a big clue.
It really is. Maybe one of the clearest signs. Playful sounds, usually quiet, maybe some little chirps or trills, those happy, hey, what's up kind of noises.
Yeah, I know those.
Maybe some cheerful, higher meows. Generally, it's a nice soundtrack. But if
Yeah.
it turns serious, well, the mood changes. Our sources call it the horror soundtrack.
Our soundtrack, okay.
That's your hissing, your growling, your yowling. Those really guttural sounds, those are clear warnings, distress signals. No mistaking it, someone is not happy or they're actively threatening.
Okay, horror movie sounds, red flag. Got it. What about claws? That always worries me. Sources say that's crucial too, right? How claws separate play from a real fight.
Hugely crucial, because it really shows intent. In play, generally, claws are retracted, sheathed. They might be batting or wrestling, like you said, tiny martial artists, but mostly no claws out.
Right, soft paws.
Yeah, soft paws. If a scratch happens, it's usually an accident. Maybe nails need a trim or they just tumbled weirdly. But a serious fight, claws are out. Used as weapons. To hurt.
Ah.
That's a very clear sign things have gone past play.
So, intent again. Are they trying to hurt or just messing around? And what about the flow of it? Does one cat just dominate or is it more back and forth?
Another really vital difference, the dynamic. Playful interaction usually has turn-taking. One cat pounces, then maybe they switch, or one chases, then the other chases back.
Like tag.
Exactly like tags. It's often stop and start. They take breaks, reset. It feels mutual. Like they're both kind of into it.
Right.
But if it's serious, often one cat is consistently the aggressor. The other is trying to hide, escape, defend. The pace is fast, relentless. It doesn't stop until one wins or gets away. If you see one cat just chasing and cornering the other over and over with no chasing back, that's aggression, probably not play.
Wow. Okay. That gives us a really clear checklist for the heat of the moment. Super helpful. Now let's go a bit deeper. Beyond just what it looks like, what's actually driving these things, our sources stress that fights don't just, pop out of nowhere. There's usually a reason.
Yeah, and understanding the why is, well, it's like your secret weapon. It lets you anticipate things, step in the right way, and even set things up to prevent fights in the first place.
Makes sense. So what are the usual suspects?
One of the biggest, territorial disputes. Cats are, as the sources say, natural-born emperors of their space.
Ah, I like that.
It's classic when a new cat arrives, obviously. But it can be subtler, too. Limited resources, not enough food bowls, maybe only one good sunny spot, not enough litter boxes. They're defending their patch or access to something they need.
So it's not just the whole house, but specific key spots within the house, like the path to the food bowl.
Exactly. They value their personal space and their stuff. Then there's social hierarchy. In homes with multiple cats, they often tussle a bit to figure out who's top paw, like a feline Game of Thrones.
Right, establishing the pecking order.
Yep. One cat might block another from going somewhere or give them the stare or start a chase. And then there's redirected aggression. This one catches people off guard.
Oh, yeah. Explain that one.
Okay, so have you ever seen your cat staring at the window really intensely at a bird, maybe another cat outside, tail twitching, eyes wide?
Totally. Wound up like a spring.
Right, and then suddenly they whip around and smack the other cat who was just minding their own business nearby.
Yes, I have. And you're like, hey, what did he do?
I always thought maybe my cat was just being grumpy.
Well, maybe a little grumpy, but it's likely redirected. They're frustrated by something. They can't get to the bird, the outside cat, and all that pent-up energy just explodes onto the nearest target. Wow, okay. That makes so much sense now. It wasn't about the other cat at all.
Probably not directly. Then you've got jealousy or competition. Yep, cats can get jealous. Over your attention, a comfy spot, your lap.
My lap is definitely prime real estate.
Isn't it always? And finally, just plain boredom or overstimulation. Not enough playtime, not enough mental challenges. A bored cat can become a bit of a chaos machine. They might start fights just to burn off energy or frustration. Sometimes it looks like aggression, but it's really just understimulated cat.
So a lot of these tie back to basic needs and instincts, things we can often manage with the right environment. But sometimes the conflict has deeper roots, right? Back to kittenhood. Sources mentioned early development playing a big role.
That's a really key point. Kittens learn crucial social skills like how hard to bite during play, understanding boundaries mostly between 7 and 14 weeks old. They learn this from playing with their mom and littermates.
Okay, that's a critical window.
It really is. Now, if a kitten grows up alone, a singleton, without mom or siblings during that time, well, they miss out on cat etiquette 101.
They didn't get their social schooling.
Pretty much. So later, as adults, they might struggle to read social cues from other cats. They might try to play, but maybe they bite too hard or they don't understand the back-off signals. What they intend as play can escalate into a real fight because the other cat thinks it is a real attack. It's a communication breakdown stemming from early life.
It's fascinating and kind of sad. So some cats might not even mean to start a fight. They just don't know how to play nicely. And what about this intermediate zone mentioned in the sources? That sounds intriguing. Not quite play, not quite war.
Yeah, this is really interesting stuff from recent research. Slovakia researchers looked at tons of cat interaction videos, over 100. They found this middle ground, maybe 15% of the time, where it wasn't clearly play or a fight.
What kind of behaviors fall in there?
Things like lying on their back, belly up, which we often think is purely submissive or playful, but maybe not always, swatting with a paw, arching the back slightly, even mutual grooming, that kind of shifts tone. And what's really cool is they notice cats often pause during these interactions, like they're checking in, assessing the other cat's reaction, trying to keep it from boiling over into a real fight.
Wow, so they're actively negotiating, testing the waters? That's pretty sophisticated.
It really is. They're trying to manage the situation in real time.
Does that mean we shouldn't stress about every little tussle? especially if it's in that gray area?
Not necessarily stress, but it means we need to look at the bigger relationship picture. The study suggests if your cats generally get along well, they rub heads, groom each other nicely, sleep near each other, greet each other with ears up, then these occasional intermediate squabbles might just be part of their dynamic. It's not necessarily a huge red flag on its own. But if you see consistent negative stuff like they sleep in the same room but never touch, grooming always turns into a fight, lots of hissing, one cat always avoiding the other, that's when even these intermediate signs become more concerning and intervention is likely needed. The overall pattern matters most.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical. We can spot the signs, we understand some of the whys, we know about the gray areas. Now, the moment of truth. The fur is flying for real. What do we do? When do we step in? And crucially, how do we do it safely?
Right, because how you intervene matters. But safety, yours and theirs, comes first. So first up, when not to intervene? If it's clearly playful bouncing, soft paws, no horror soundtrack, looks mutual sources say stay out.
Don't be the fun police.
Exactly. Jumping in might just confuse or stress them. They're just being cats practicing hunting and fighting skills in a safe way.
Okay. Resist the urge to helicopter parent the cats, unless it's actually serious. So when is it time to act?
If that mood shifts, tense, serious, you hear growls, screams, fur is puffed up, or one cat is clearly cornering and relentlessly attacking the other, then yes, time to step in.
Okay.
And here is the absolute golden rule, non-negotiable. Never use your bare hands. Never. Reaching into that chaos is just asking for trouble.
A one-way ticket to Scratchville, as one source put it.
Absolutely. Even the sweetest cat, if they're terrified or full of adrenaline, can bite or scratch you badly by accident. And cat bites get infected easily. Pasteurella bacteria, it can be serious. Need antibiotics. Just don't risk it.
Yikes. Okay, message received. No hands. So what are the safe ways to break it up?
Several good options. One is a loud noise. Suddenly clap your hands hard, bang a pot, shake a can with coins in it, blow a whistle. Even just a loud hey can work. That sudden sound often snaps them out of it, breaks the focus.
Startle them out of the rage bubble.
Exactly. Some sources even suggest making the noise from hiding so they don't connect the scary sound with you. Prevents them maybe redirecting onto you. Another tactic, create a physical barrier. Toss something soft, a pillow, a blanket between them, not at them, but between them to block their view of each other. Break that eye contact.
Obstruct the view.
Yes, or slide a piece of cardboard or even a baby gate between them if you can do it safely. And for some cats, a quick spritz from a water bottle, just water mist, can work as an interrupter. Startling, but harmless, the key is quick, decisive action.
Those are all really practical. Sounds like the idea is surprise and distract, not physical force. Okay, so you've managed to break it up. What next? Do you rush in and comfort them?
Good question. The advice is generally no, not right away. Once they're separated, maybe put them in different rooms for a bit, give them space to cool down, let the adrenaline subside.
We'll let them chill out first.
Right. Comfort them after they've visibly calmed down. If you try to soothe them while they're still super agitated, you might accidentally reward the aggression, or they could even redirect onto you.
Makes sense.
And definitely do not punish them after a fight. Punishment doesn't work well with cats like it might with dogs. It mostly just makes them scared of you, damages your bond, and doesn't really stop the fighting long term. It can even make things worse.
Okay, no punishment. Focus on de-escalation and cool down. So once the dust settles, or even better, before things get that bad, how do we prevent future fights? Keep the peace long term. That feels like the real goal.
Prevention is absolutely the best strategy, and it comes down to understanding and meeting their core needs. A huge one, provide abundant, separate resources.
More stuff for everyone.
Basically, yes. Make sure each cat has its own food bowl, water bowl, and critically, litter boxes. The rule of thumb is 1 per cat plus 1 extra, so 2 cats, 3 litter boxes.
Wow, and that many.
Yep. And place them in different low-traffic areas, also multiple sleeping spots, and really important, vertical space. Cat trees, shelves, places to get up high. This reduces competition and gives them safe zones. It minimizes those turf wars.
Vertical space.
Right.
Not just for fun, but for territory. Cats love looking down on their kingdom.
They really do. It makes them feel secure. Also vital. Adequate playtime and mental stimulation. Engage them individually. Aim for maybe 20-30 minutes of interactive play a day. Wand toys, feather toys.
The laser pointer.
Laser pointers are okay, but always end the session by letting them catch a physical toy. Otherwise, it's frustrating for them, that unfulfilled hunting drive. Food puzzles are fantastic too. Makes them work for their food, engages their brain. Clicker training even. And don't underestimate spaying or neutering. It significantly reduces hormone-driven aggression, especially in males. Also consider environmental aids. Pheromone diffusers like Feeliway or calming collars. They release calming signals can lower general anxiety.
Yeah, those pheromones can make a real difference in some households, just creating a calmer vibe. Any last big prevention tips, especially if things have been really tense?
Yes. Use positive reinforcement. Actively reward good behavior. See them sitting near each other peacefully. Quietly praise them. Maybe offer a treat. Catch them being friends. Reinforce that.
Focus on the good stuff.
Exactly. And if you're dealing with serious ongoing fights, you might need to go back to basics with a slow reintroduction. Treat them like they've never met.
Hmm.
Separate rooms, scent swapping, feeding on opposite sides of a closed door, then gradual supervised visual contact. It takes time, weeks, maybe months, but it can reset their relationship.
Wow, that's a commitment, but sounds like it could be worth it for severe cases. So, okay, wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway? Our deep dive seems to show that understanding cats isn't some kind of magic. It's about learning their language.
All right, tuning in, whether it's a tiny ear flick, a playful bounce, or, a full-on hiss fest.
And with these insights, we can hopefully shift from being confused bystanders to more confident cat interpreters.
Exactly. Remember, every cat is still a bit of a tiny, fluffy enigma, right? But if you watch the body language, understand the reasons behind the behavior, and know how and when to step in safely, you're definitely way closer to achieving peace in the kingdom. Domestic kitty bliss.
Ah,
And of course, if problems keep happening or if there are injuries, always, always talk to your vet or a certified feline behavior expert. They're the pros, the cat whisperers with stethoscopes.
good advice. So next time your cats erupt in a fur tornado, hopefully you'll feel more equipped to figure out what's really going on. And that leads us to our final thought for you today. Thinking about all this hidden communication, what unspoken languages might you be missing in other relationships in your life, feline or otherwise, if you just took a moment to really watch, listen, and understand?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive. Stay curious, and we'll see you next time.